Hello lords and ladies, we are here with my first ever trailer reaction for anything I've ever done on the channel. You are watching the Mighty Gammon TV and we are about to embark on the deep dive Assassin's Creed Valhalla trailer that just released yesterday, I think. And I've not watched this yet. I've watched the original cinematic trailer. And I'm really excited for this one because it's almost 8 minutes long. So it's obviously going to show off some serious awesomeness or some serious nonsense. We're going to be the judge of that. I will pause at intervals during the trailer to give my comments or just expand on a reaction to whatever is going on. I'm not really going to expo dump at the end. So with that being said, let's get into it. Oh, they're starting off on a good foot.
This is a time of conquest. The age of Vikings.
See, I don't know about the ship combat in this game. The long ships look amazing, and I know there's probably customization stuff like in Odyssey. But I'm not sure in medieval Britain, Saxon Britain, ship combat wasn't really a thing. It wasn't a massive part of warfare. So I don't know if it's just going to be used for travel. Is there going to be many ships around? I know you can do raids. That's like a big part of having the ship is doing a raid. But I'm doubtful that we're going to see ship-to-ship combat like you did in Odyssey. So we'll see.
Players Eivor, the fierce Viking war chief of the Raven clan. Eivor and their kin have forged into England to settle the new frontiers. But these...
It's like Vikings, the TV show.
And each new landscape contains untold perils and mysteries to uncover.
Oh god. Give me Witcher vibes, that did. Only, you know, much smaller.
For a home.
It's like, instead of, it's probably to Witcher. That dude in the mask is to Witcher monsters what Total War Troy monsters are, you know, just big dudes in skull masks that are called Minotaurs. We'll see. Probably be like, I imagine level caps probably going to be in this again, or level requirements. Not a massive deal to me, but I know some people were annoyed in Odyssey.
Your Viking settlement is the beating heart of your adventure, and is the intersecting point for many of Valhalla's interwoven storylines.
I'm really looking forward to this.
Here, you'll get familiar
to
with
this
your
village creation. I just hope it isn't like Fallout 4 villages, like the town, because that was atrocious. That game.
At the Alliance map, you'll meet Randvi, the clan's key intel gatherer, and plan your first moves.
Eivor, Sigurd, I give you England and its 4 kingdoms. Mercia, East Anglia, Northumbria, and Wessex.
By forging alliances with different territories.
You have no idea how excited I am for just the fact that you've got all these. So you have Norway. I'm not sure how much Norway is going to play into it. Obviously, the main focus is Saxon England. There are not many that I can think of open world RPG type games that are set in like medieval Saxon England. I've never played one personally, and there's definitely no AAA like, you know, games that are set in medieval England on this scale. So I'm really looking forward to this, as well as Watch Dogs Legion as well. It seems Ubisoft are just focusing this year on England, London, Saxon England, things like that. So it's really cool because you don't get a lot of games set here, at least not the big ones. So it's really cool because this era of history is one of the most interesting. Thrones of Britannia wasn't a great game, but I played the the living hell out of it because of the era it was set in. It was just so interesting. Lots of intrigue, really, really nice locations. So yeah, let's get back to it.
The Raven clan will expand their influence, allowing you to grow your settlement and open a wealth of new narrative arcs, missions,
That guy looked dodgy.
activities, and ways to experience the game world.
Let's go. It's time to capture a kingdom.
Love the
Each of England's
Viking
kingdoms
shields as
have
well.
many stories to uncover, with their own unique plot lines, casts of characters, and challenges to overcome.
Are you
Male Eivor. I've not seen much of female Eivor yet, but Eivor, even he looks awesome. He looks like straight out of Vikings or The Last Kingdom, the TV series. Yeah, they've done him really well. Apparently, I don't know if they're going to show it here. Apparently, I've heard that you can switch characters whenever in the game. So hopefully they'll show that here.
Eivor? If you keep that up, I'll stain the floors.
Oh god, BDSM.
Assassinating targets, forging allies,
Oh,
and assaulting rivals in
Oh,
large-scale
I wonder
battles.
is that a
These story arcs explore
beautiful. I wonder is when he's stabbed into him with their new version of the hidden blade. Is that a thing that's going to happen when you assassinate someone? Was that literally just for the trailer? Because that's really cool. So it's like Mortal Kombat kind of X-ray stab, but with every single assassination, I don't know, it might be a bit much. There might be an option to turn it on and off. I feel like it's just done for the trailer, but you never know.
themes of honor, glory, leadership, and choice that are central to Eivor's journey. And your pivotal
Player choice? But yeah, but what kind of choice though?
Across the kingdoms.
3 men, 3 possible futures. Who will serve us?
So it's just going to be, this is going to be like choosing Mass Effect, choosing red, blue or green, isn't it? It's going to be the exact same outcomes, just with a different dialogue line at the end, but I'm happy to be proven wrong.
Viking warfare is visceral and brutal. And there are
Just
many
don't mind me,
survivors
just gonna
of
run
enemy
through.
types that will stand in your way.
Oh!
Thankfully,
That's a
Eivor is
beautiful
equipped with a
weapon.
diverse set of combat skills, including brute strength.
Remember in Assassin's Creed 2, my favourite part about it was the fact that you could just pick up loads of weapons. You couldn't usually keep the big ones, but you could pick up a two-handed sword or a two-handed axe and just go crazy with it. That would be what I'd use that all the time. And obviously Origins and Odyssey expanded on that. Odyssey was fantastic for that because you could have it as your main weapon, like a big two-handed thing. But I don't know if it was just the Greek weapons or whatever. I didn't feel it wasn't visceral enough. This game, I think that their main focus is a lot of on visual damage, a lot of visual like decapitations, lots of blood and gore, and I'm all for it.
Charging maneuvers, close quarters melee attacks,
This is just a pub brawl.
and explosive two-handed finishes. While range abilities
look at that.
like man's best friend
Exclusive.
and poison
Exclusive to
counter-trap
what?
allow you to flank and interrupt your
Okay, good to
foes
see you've
with
still got
distance.
some
Your skills
some
are
gadgets.
upgraded through a progression system, which allows you to unlock perks and abilities to suit your style of play.
Just like
Special
Origins and
abilities
Odyssey,
are found
just
in
a level up
books of
tree.
knowledge hidden throughout the world and have their own
Books of
upgrade tiers
knowledge.
that improve their power and effectiveness. As you forge deeper on your journey,
That's pretty cool. The level up system is standard. I assume it's just going to be like sort of focus to melee damage, focus to stealth, focus to range. That's just how the last couple games have been, which is fine. It worked well. I like this finding these hidden books and things to get abilities though. That's pretty cool. And anything that encourages sort of exploration of the world, because I want to explore the world. But like, it always helps if there's a reason to explore. Like, you're not just exploring to see what they've created. You're exploring to get something out of it as well. And usual Ubisoft collectibles, like find this many of this thing, and you'll get some experience once you've got 1,000 of them. or just find these idols. It's just not fun. It's not fun, and like once you get bored of just exploring and ignoring the main quests, they don't really give you anything to incentivize really exploring the rest of the world. Like Odyssey did the same thing. A lot of the islands I went out of my way to explore just for the sake of it. There was nothing really making me do it. The story barely covered a third of the actual map. But it's good if these books you actually get abilities out of them for exploring. That's really cool, and that'll keep me going, I think, between missions.
Your explorations will reward you with exotic gear from the far corners of the world.
Gigantic loot boxes
and dual wield combinations, including the legendary
Jesus.
Excalibur.
Wait. Excalibur. Well, they're obviously going to go down the mythical route, which is good. It's great. It gives you something else to do. If you really don't want to, I feel like the mythical parts of these games are usually mostly optional. If you really don't want to do them, I'm definitely going to get Excalibur as soon as I can. I mean, that thing looks like a beast. I wonder though, is it going to be like? My guess is it's going to be a piece of Eden. To be one of the Izu artifacts. It's got to be. I mean, it's how many different like historical / mythical items do they have in England at this time? So I feel like that, just revealing that's going to be an Izu artifact. If it isn't, I'll be very surprised.
Choice is central to Valhalla's player experience, and that begins with Eivor.
They always say that.
At the start of your adventure, you'll have the opportunity to choose Eivor's gender, and you can seamlessly swap between male and female Eivor at any time during your story.
And so I raise my horn to the Raven clan, the best of friends.
I don't know how to feel about that. It is cool. The thing is, they did this sort of thing in Syndicate, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. But the difference there was the fact that they were both in the story. Both Jacob and Evie Fry were in the story. And when you switched to them, you went to a different part of London to where they were supposedly... Obviously, they just appear, but they were doing missions or whatever there. This, I'm pretty sure from what I've just seen, Eivor is one character. They're not brother and sister. But you can switch genders on the fly, which is a bit weird for immersion, because what are all these guys going to think if you're sitting on the throne and you're suddenly... your woman clan leader has just suddenly turned into a big burly man. Completely changed their voice in like with a blink. So I don't know. Immersion, that's a bit odd. It's cool, I guess. I mean, if it's great that if you pick a character and you get sick of them, like you don't like the voice actor or something, you can switch. It's cool, but I just imagine there's like a sex scene or something in this game, which there probably is. The last couple there have been, and you just, as you can switch on the fly, just midway you just turn from a woman into a man. Like, you're right, love. You've come to the wrong pub. Anyway, that's enough about that.
After a victory, you return home with resources pillaged from your conquests, using them to expand your settlement with structures and upgrades. There's a wide variety of structures to build, each with their own unique gameplay systems and perks. The barracks allow you to elect a Jomsviking, which is a powerful Viking lieutenant, and build a custom crew of raiders to ride with, which are shared with your friends online.
I love the whole just recruiting people is great, even if it's really superficial. It's just it gives you just more of a feel to controlling sort of a force or an army. Having a Yorm Viking or whatever that guy was called, I've completely forgotten already. Is that's really cool. Having a lieutenant to like on the ship with you or run the camps, everything. I like the fact that your raiders are shared online. I'm hoping there's no like multiplayer co-op thing to this, because Well, maybe co-op, but multiplayer, like, because I just want them to focus on the single player. For me, Assassin's Creed has always been single player, first and foremost. Even with the games that had the multiplayer in them, I barely played them as an afterthought, and I always thought that maybe that took away from more content they could have added to the single player. So I really want just single player stuff. I want them to release future content, just single player, just expand everything. Because I'm most excited for this Assassin's Creed out of any of the recent ones, the last 4 or 5, just because of the setting. And who doesn't love Vikings? But that's cool. You can share your raiders and stuff. If you have really cool raiders, you can just flex on your friends.
Gunnar the blacksmith enhances weapons and gear, and at the tattooist, you'll customize Eivor's look.
Tattooist.
At the shipyard, Gudrun
Nice.
and Gudmund will customize and improve your longship.
Do I get anime tattoos though? I sort of want them to add the Desu Desu waifu pillow tattoo, or I'm not really going to get one. Also, gear. If it works the same as in Odyssey, then I mean that'll be great. I did quite like that. The only problem is it's the sort of game where you get an item. 15 minutes later, you've got another item that's better. You really like the look of this item and the abilities, but let's say you can change the look for like a couple 100 gold or whatever, but your abilities won't carry over. You've got to use the new one's abilities or its perks or whatever. It's just a bit like, it's so throwaway. It's like you're churning in gear and just destroying it or selling it. I wish they'd had a bit more longevity to the gear. They might in this one though. We've nothing to prove otherwise, but I'm just fingers crossed for that.
And in the Hidden Ones Bureau, you will work from the shadows, embroiling yourself in a mysterious conflict with the Order of the Ancients.
We have work starting in the cities of England. Our task.
Okay, so the Hidden Ones are back. Awesome. Order of the Ancients. Okay, cool. The thing is, obviously this game is, like with every Assassin's Creed now, the actual focus on the assassins is minimal, which I don't really care about. I know it's Assassin's Creed. This could easily be a different IP, as I'm sure a lot of people will agree. But it's nice to have a little bit of a reference. Like in Origins, there was the Hidden Ones, and you had the references to the assassins and how the assassins started, etc. That's what it was called, Origins. Odyssey, barely anything. I mean, obviously you had what was probably the vestiges of the early Templars, or what might maybe become the Templars as the enemy, but you didn't really. There was no real nod to the assassins in that game. Maybe because it was too early for them. I think Odyssey was. I think it's the earliest game, or the furthest back in the eras that has been so far. So, but yeah, it's nice. Well, it's cool to get a bit of Assassin, especially for the people who complain all the time about it. Oh, not being Assassin's Creed. Oh, it's not my Assassin's Creed, not my president. Anyway, continuing.
Not to be an easy one.
These are just a few examples.
Oh, the graphics are
and
beautiful
there's
though.
plenty more fun to be had around
I hope they stay like this
Drink your weight in ale, play a game
on
of
release.
Warlord, or throw a massive Viking feast.
Oh god.
However,
Skål!
it comes with its own set of dangers, and your settlement will become the target of new enemy factions.
Ah, rebels.
Has overtaken
This. You see, a septic rot. Instead of trying to kill everyone in the Great Hall, he could have just used some antibiotics for that.
Valhalla's world is
Please
built
let
for
me do that
wondering
in-game.
story. You'll uncover deeper layers to Eivor's own story in a set of dramatic and intimate
Norway.
narrative through lines.
I lost my parents when I was 9 winters.
I wonder how much.
Without Sigurd, I would have.
Oh, interesting. Bit of backstory. I hope Norway plays a decent part in the story, not just a throwaway, because I do want to explore some of Norway.
The game experience, and as you continue to explore, you'll uncover new stories and epiphanies in the most unlikely places.
Drink, if you seek true understanding.
But
Who is this
world
now?
is just the beginning. Valka,
Doesn't
the
look
clan
English.
seer, will unlock
Not
the
English.
secrets, allowing you to leap beyond to Asgard, the legendary realm of Norse myth. From Norway to England to new worlds. Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Asgard. Okay. So I was right. They've gone very mythic. I hope they get Chris Hemsworth in for that. Just have Thor, but played by him, the fat one. I don't know. No, that would be cool. You know what? As long as it's optional, because I don't want it to just come in randomly during the historical missions. But all right, that's pretty cool. They're going very God of War with this, visiting Asgard, the gods. I don't know what you'll do there. I mean, I assume there'll be like you'll fight mythical creatures and get maybe special weapon and armor sets, etc., etc. That's odd. I suppose if you're going to go mythical, it's going to be Norse. So, I mean, props to them. I hope they do it justice and it doesn't take away from the main game. That's the only thing.
Allows you to experience your own elemental Viking saga. The thrill of discovery, the glory of victory, and the light of kingship. A journey beyond kingdoms and into the soul of a warrior.
Okay. Okay, guys. Well, that was a lot to take in. I can't see. There's not many negatives here, if any, at all. I mean, this looks great. The graphics look amazing, as you'd expect. It is an Ubisoft game. The world looks awesome. The characters look brilliant as well, especially male Eivor. Like, insane. He looks just like from one of the Viking TV series. I like the voice actor as well. They haven't got some burly, like really burly sort of just the classic bloke. He's very much like, because there's quite a lot of at least Norwegian actors that are very light. Their voice is very light. It's quite a nice. It's a lovely accent, and I'm assuming that's just the main sort of. They don't all sound like Vikings, all grisly and everything. That's not really how they sounded on the whole. So I'm glad they've got like a more, I don't know, relatable sort of Norwegian voice actor. Yeah, this just looks insane. Player choice. I hope it's not too superficial. I mean, me buying the game isn't dependent on being able to choose things anyway, so it's not too big. Love the whole village aspect. It's not just Viking hit, Viking smash. It's Viking build, Viking eat, and you've got boats and stuff. I can't wait to do the raids. They look awesome, these raids. Just lots and lots of combat, lots of explosions and death, and all the good parts of an Assassin's Creed game. Interesting to see if there's the X-ray sort of killing stabs. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the story unfolds. The thing I'm looking forward to the most, and what is an insta-buy for me, is the fact that you get to explore Saxon England. That is so cool. You have no idea how much I've wanted a really immersive AAA experience set in Saxon England. Since all these TV shows I've watched, the strategy games I've played set in Saxon England, just general history and looking up the events, the battles that took place. I'm really, really looking forward to it, and I want to know how they portray the Saxons. I think is it Alfred? I think it's Alfred. They're doing is the king in this, well, of Wessex anyway. Interesting to see how they portray him. And it's cool they've still got it's in the period of time where you've got Northumbria, Wessex, Mercia, you know, all them places. So it'll be interesting to see the dynamic between them. Do they team up against you as you get bigger? Are they constantly warring? Are they at peace? What are the different kings like? Do their soldiers and generals and things act differently, look differently? Be really interesting to see. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the trailer. I hope you got some sort of entertainment from my reaction, and I haven't been talking too much bullshit. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and if you are interested at all in actually seeing what the game plays like, do stick around, because in the next month or so, as soon as Assassin's Creed releases, I'm going to start playing it and I'm going to start making some content. So yeah, do stick around. Also, Watch Dogs 2, if you're interested. That's coming out end of this month, I think, and I will be making content on that too. Thank you for watching the Mighty Gammon TV. Do like the video, and do, if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more. Until next time.